Hey there, if you are an English learner and you want to improve your pronunciation, reduce your foreign accent, and have more of an American/Canadian accent. Hi, my name is Jessie. I'm an American accent coach and I help English learners with an intermediate to advanced level of English improve their pronunciation and acquire more of an American accent so you can stop speaking more robotically and speak more like a native speaker and more naturally. So, I am going to start my live here by sharing with you what to expect today. So, today we have quick announcements. Then I'll be doing an accent review from a follower. And then between each section, there's a little question and answer period for anyone who would like to share anything. And then I'll be doing some pronunciation practice. If you've watched my other video with that Indian speaker who speaks almost perfectly, he doesn't quite pronounce this correctly. So I'll be doing some pronunciation practice for him and whoever else wants to practice pronunciation practice here. And then I don't know, let's see. Let's see how things go. But either way, if you're here, say hi. Tell us where you're watching from and yeah, I'd love to see where everyone's from. So hi Air Vibes. Hi. I is it Nishat? I like that. It's a cool name. It's going good. How are you, AR Vibes? R Vibes. I'm going to get rid of that banner really quickly, and I'm going to do some quick announcements. If you have questions, ask them because I will be doing question and answer between every session. So, before we get started, I just want to say I have an upcoming course, Secrets to Sounding More American. You can join the waitlist. It's going to be down in the description. The link is going to be down in the description. Also, if you are interested, because in September, I will be having more services offered. If you are interested in weekly conversation groups, type in weekly groups in the comments, ideally on the replay, because I don't know if I'll be able to reply live here. Also, if you're interested in the course, comment secrets. And I'm really interested as well. I don't know exactly how to package the course. Should it be connected speech secrets or master the flow of English secrets? If you want to tell me right now on the replay or live, which one sounds better? Because I might actually make it slightly different to the course. Connected speech secrets or master the flow of English? Which is better? Which is more attractive? And which one seems more interesting? Tell me. Also, in the replay, in the replay here, fast, if you are interested in joining my conversation groups to help you master the TH sound, write master the TH if you're interested in a 4-week speaking group. So it's a group of people. I think I'm going to say 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 people maximum, and we will work on the TH. The TH sound is one of the hardest sounds for English learners to pronounce. For example, instead of saying the, where your tongue should be between your teeth, I might hear da like a D. I might hear za like a Z or a Z, like in Slavic countries. Or I might hear, what do I hear? Va. Anyways, it's not always correct, and it's a very commonly mispronounced sound. So if you are interested in that, comment that. Um, Also, I'm going to see if there's any other questions. I'm good. I'm in the oh, cool. United. Yes, 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 yes. I always have trouble with how to pronounce or what the whole name is. It's United Emirates. No. Shouldn't even try. I'm embarrassing myself. I love that you're saying master the flow of English. Okay. Thank you for your feedback. I really, really, really appreciate it. So now I'm going to go into doing a quick little accent review. And I want to say if you have questions while I'm doing this, ask in the comments and I will answer after this accent review. Okay. So, what's really fun about this accent review um, is that I am actually going to share with you some tips and how to use ChatGPT to improve your pronunciation and to improve your rhythm and stress and everything because there's so many cool ways that you can use ChatGPT. But rather than me talk about it, let me show you. So, um, I'm just gonna do a quick little break here just as I get my stuff together. Right. All right, so let's do this. We are going to do a quick little accent review. Well, it's not going to be that quick, but it might feel quick. So let's get started.
Judge My Accent, a place on Reddit where English learners can get their accent judged.
Wow. So who's my next victim?
I'm just kidding. I'm here to help you and judge your accent so that you can improve your accent and speak more like a native English speaker with an American accent. Let's go.
All right, so as you can see, I'm going to be doing an American accent review on a Spanish speaker who has been living in Canada for 12 years. The fun thing about this episode is that one, it's live, and two, I'm also going to be sharing with you how you can use ChatGPT. So if you want to speak, practice your English, and then use ChatGPT to see what kind of mistakes you might have made, this is going to be really helpful. So we're going to start off by listening to this clip, and then we'll go into the Word document and check it out. So let's do this.
Practice. Hello, teacher Jesse. Douglas here. How are you doing today? So, this is my practice for you to check my accent when you have a chance. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for your time and for providing feedback to my request. So, I want to talk about my learning process in English. I started learning English around 25 years ago when I was in my early 20s. And it's fair to say that I never had a native English teacher. In my opinion, this is the reason why I have struggled with my accent and pronunciation for years and years, right? Because once you don't have that native pattern to imitate from the very beginning, then the rest is just a struggle and a struggle day after day because basically it's like plowing in the sea. And I've been learning by myself, trying to improve for years. It's also important to highlight that I not only took private lessons or I engaged and enrolled in different kind of uh, formal courses. I also became an English as a second language teacher. I got a degree in language. I went to the university and I finished my 5 years training course and teaching formation, and I got my BA in language. But I never had the chance to interact and speak and communicate frequently with native speakers until I arrived here in Canada. So I've been living here in Canada for 12 years, working with Canadians, native speakers, and interacting with people daily. However, my accent is still behind. I believe my accent is my Achilles heel. I have tried different techniques. Honestly, I haven't tried that much, but yes, I have tried shadowing, I have tried following teachers online like yourself that, uh, you know, have made me or have they have given me the possibility to improve a little bit, but I'm still behind comparing with the rest of my skills, my knowledge, etc. So this is my practice, and please, when you have a chance, let me know what do you think. Let me know in which area you consider I have to improve regarding accent, regarding intonation, rhythm, or where to put the stress in a word on a sentence. And that's it. Thank you very much. And yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Douglas, for your courage and wanting me to review your accent. So I'm going to go over a few things that I tell everyone who wants to improve their accent. One, I think I've mentioned it in the last video that I reviewed your accent, but that is focus on one change at a time. Because I know it can be so tempting to say, well, oh, I know I cannot pronounce this correctly. My intonation's off here, this, da, 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 da. And when you spread out your your energy and your focus, it's hard to really master different incorrect patterns or sounds. So, that being said, I know it's hard to just focus on one thing if you know that there's more than one thing incorrect, but just focus on one thing. Choose it, master it, get feedback from a native speaker, an accent coach, and then once it's mastered and it has become a part of your natural day-to-day language, then you can move on to the next thing. That's my advice. So I just want to say that because I know for everyone or anyone learning any language and wanting to master the accent, it's so tempting to work on everything. Um, I also want to mention, um, you had mentioned something that I thought, you know what, I should talk about. And that is, you said that you learned from people who are not natives and are not native speakers of English. So you were exposed to possibly like incorrect intonation or English that is not with an American accent. It might be a foreign accent, it might be another one. um, but that is something that you're right. Once you've learned a pattern that is not what you want to learn, for example, I'm going to say incorrect. I hate saying incorrect because American English isn't the only correct English, but once you learn something that's incorrect, okay, for lack of better words, it becomes a habit and it's harder to undo a habit than to originally learn. So you are correct in that sense, but know that it's possible to undo and create correct habits. It's just going to be a little bit harder, well, actually rather harder because of fossilization. So fossilization is when you are learning a language and you hit about an intermediate or so level, and the habits, pronunciation habits, the intonation habits, whether they're good or bad, they start to fossilize. If you think about a fossil, like a rock, it becomes hard. It becomes difficult to mold and to change. So once you've hit that, which I would say that with your level of English, you probably have hit that level of fossilization. It takes more intentional work to undo that, to create good habits, but it's not impossible. So I just want to say that. So I'm going to share my screen right away, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys what you can do if you want to get ChatGPT to say what kind of mistakes you might be making. So I'm going to share my screen. Um, okay, share my screen. I want to share this one right here. All right, so as you guys know, I did a live 2 weeks ago and it didn't work. So that's why I'm so far ahead. I was going to show you guys how to do this. But if you guys have a voice message and you'd like to dictate it, you would like Word document to type what you say. If you have Windows, you click the Windows key and H, or if you have a Mac, you do this. Okay. That's what I did here. So I have Douglas's Douglas's text here. Um, so we're actually going to we've already done it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Wait, not yet. Not yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ChatGPT and I'm going to take this first prompt, ChatGPT prompt, which I think I'm going to share this. Let me know. Should I share this ChatGPT prompt in on my Patreon? Because if I do it on YouTube, YouTube kind of punishes me. It punishes me. It does. Because people click off and they leave YouTube and then they think that my video is bad. So if you want me to put all these prompts, ChatGPT prompts, on Patreon, let me know and I can do it. So here's the prompt. Can you compare and contrast the connected speech, stress, and intonation rules between American English and, I'm going to say Cuban Spanish, okay? Because this guy speaks Spanish and he's from Cuba. Please include word stress, sentence stress, and any unnatural habits that might carry through to English as a, insert your language and origin, this here, we're going to say Cuban Spanish speaker. Mm, and we're going to check this out. ChatGPT 5, this is the first time I'm using it. Okay, I'm letting it think longer. I like that, I think. It's going to give me a good answer. Ooh. All right. So it gives some of the reasons, the differences between American English and the language that you ask. Okay, so American English, it's stress time. Content words have prominent stress. Function words reduce, right? So instead of to, you'll see ta. Instead of for, you'll see fur. Cuban Spanish is syllable timed, even syllable weight. Okay, okay. All right. So it also talks about like other things that are different. So likely habits in English, you might over regular, this is a hard word, over regularize stress to, okay, pronunciation. Okay, that's what I thought I heard. I thought I heard pronunciation, but should be pronunciation. Asian. Like before the shin, it's Asian. This is stressed right before. Keeps full vowels. Okay. So, anyways, you could read this later. I'll actually, I'll keep this. I'll put this link. I'll put the link to this chat in my Patreon. Yeah, because this is really cool. This is really cool. Oh, this is really cool. Wow. Okay, this is pretty impressive. I didn't expect it to be this great. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I already primed my ChatGPT chat. Okay. It knows to look for the differences. Now I'm going to take what Douglas said. And I'm going to copy a few sentences. And I'm going to, so there's no punctuation, and that's because that's how ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, Word dictates. How are you doing today? So this is the first. I'm going to I like keeping it spaced out so it's kind of clear to ChatGPT and myself. So this is my practice for you. Check my accent when you have the chance. First of all, to my request. So I want to talk about. Okay. Good. Now I have a second prompt. And this is going to be, can you write these sentences out and put in capital letters where the stress is and put in bold what potentially might be a challenge or done incorrectly by a Spanish speaker, an Italian speaker, a Portuguese speaker, a Brazilian Portuguese speaker, whatever you are. Whatever you are, you can do that, okay? So I'm actually going to put that on top. I'm going to switch this to by a Cuban Spanish speaker because he's Cuban and he speaks Spanish. All right, I think this is going to be good. I'm a little bit nervous, but if it does not give me what I want, at least you guys can see how I navigate ChatGPT. Okay, I get a little nervous. What if it doesn't work out? But it's going to help you. Okay, so the text is rewritten. Caps is syllable or word stress in American English. Okay, bold parts. The bold parts that Cuban speakers might commonly produce unnaturally. Okay, and I think we should actually listen to this, but I'm going to say it correctly first. And I'm actually going to stop sharing just to see how you guys are doing. If there's any questions, I don't think there's any questions. No, you can ask questions and I'll answer them later, but I'm going to reshare this again. And when I say something, feel free to repeat after me. Even if you do not speak Spanish as a first language, this is going to help you really repeat after a native speaker and copy the intonation, copy the stress, the flow, right? So I'm going to go sentence by sentence and share with you guys how I do this. Mm. And if you were to do this on your own, it might be helpful to get a native speaker to read these sentences for you. All right. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. And I feel like you might say Douglas, but we say Douglas. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. I'm just going to read this here. All right. Next, how are you doing today? Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's time. It is time. I'm going to write some of this, like right on this. I want to make it really small. I'm going to make it, I like purple. All right. Connecting, the words together. We don't say, how are you doing today? Which Douglas was fine. He connected it. But I want to just make this into a lesson. So when there is a, oops, why is this happening? When there is a consonant at the end, a consonant sound at the end of a word, and the next word starts with a vowel sound, it's going to connect. And I'm just going to try to find out why this is disappearing. Oh my goodness. I thought this is fixed. Okay, whatever. We're going to do it. Okay, so how are, right? So the W kind of goes into the next word. How are, or it could even be how were. So it could be are, it could be In connected speech, it'll turn into more of an sound. How are you doing today? And then the two turns into a t. Today. Today. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Let's go up. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. Hi, teacher Jessie. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. Douglas here. Hi, teacher Jessie. Douglas here. How are you doing today? Today. We don't say today usually. Today. Doing. Good. Okay, likely challenges. I was going to say it feels like Douglas R, like it felt like it's overpronounced. Um, how are you? It threw me off a little bit. We're going to listen to it right away, I think. Doing might be okay. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to actually say something because I didn't realize. Ooh, ing. There's a W in between. Doing. Doing. I didn't know if I heard that or not. So it's not doing, it's doing. Ooh, with a W, right? With a W. Doing. Okay. So this is my practice for you to check my accent. Fur, this is reduced. So it turns into a fur sound. This is my practice for you, for you. For you to. I know it's to when it's alone, but in connected speech, it's to check. This is my practice for you to check. For you to check. Repeat after me. For you to check. My accent. When you have a chance. Have a, have a, have a, have a. See how it's connected? Consonant V, and then the A is unstressed. Have a chance. When you have a chance. When you have a chance. Right? Just repeat after me. Just feel what it feels like to speak with the rhythm of American English or Canadian if you want to say Canadian. I'm Canadian, but with a more of a general North American accent. When you have a chance. Have a chance. Have a chance. When you have a chance. Okay, let's put it together. So this is my practice for you to check my accent when you have a chance. When you have a chance. Have a chance. So this is, okay, remember? Consonant connects. So this is my practice. For, remember, for, not for. For you to check, to check my accent. And yes, you can say for and you can say to. But when it's in the middle of a sentence and it's just, it's just you're speaking like a native, it will generally reduce to for and to. If it's at the end of a sentence, though, you will say for. So I could say, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Right? At the end of the sentence, I will pronounce it as for, and I will pronounce this as to if it's at the end of the sentence. So if I say, who are you talking to? Right? I'll say to. But if I'm going to say, I'm going to talk to you, right? All right. I'm going to go to the next part. I'm going to scroll down. I think we're going to just do these last four, or the last 3, 4, 5, and 6 examples, and then we're going to listen to him and just compare and contrast how I speak. And if you're listening, Douglas, you can listen for what doesn't sound like Jesse. So I'll say it. I'll try to play your clip right away after, and then you can try to compare and contrast. Okay. That's really how you're going to see what doesn't sound right. It might be difficult if English is not your first language, but it's a good practice. All right. First of all, this is a V of all. First of all, you did really good. You did great, I think. I think you said wanna. Oops. Wanna. It'll be pronounced as wanna. First of all, I just want to say thank you. First of all, I just wanna say thank you very much. Sorry, I disconnected it. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for your time. Remember? For. And being able to reduce it to for instead of for, it's going to change the rhythm of your spoken English as well, which will help you, have more of that rhythm and intonation. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for this is hard to read. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you for your time and for providing and for providing feedback to my request. To my request. Huh? Instead of saying to my request, to my request. And for providing feedback to my request. Feel free to repeat. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for your time and for providing feedback to my request. To my request. To my request. And for this is hard. And for providing feedback to my request. All right. I don't know if I heard this, but this is something that's very common for Spanish speakers. For first, making sure to pronounce st first. Sometimes, very often, I hear Spanish speakers say fur or first instead of first. You really want that T to pop, and you really want to pronounce that consonant cluster because in Spanish, I know consonant clusters. I don't think they exist. Okay. Next. So I want to talk. I think you said wanna, which is perfect. Wanna, right? Instead of want to, which you can, but a lot of natives will say, sorry, a lot of native speakers will say wanna. So I want to talk about. So I want to talk about, notice how the K goes about. I want to talk about my learning process. My learning process in English. In English, right? So the consonant here kind of starts the next word, it sounds like. Do connecting it. I want to talk about my learning process in English. In English. Likely challenges. Okay, good. I'm not going to read the mistakes. Next. That's what I heard. Okay, I think I heard this mistake. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. I shouldn't say it's a mistake. Douglas, it's not a mistake. But if you want to sound more American, I would pronounce this T as a D, as a flap T. I think I heard started. I would say started. 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 Right? D, 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 like a D sound, fast D. So I started learning English around 25 years ago when I was in my early 20s. Early 20s. Notice how I did not pronounce the T? I don't know if you pronounce the T, Douglas, but we will drop the T sound. Early 20s. In careful speech, you could say early 20s, but, we generally don't as native speakers. Early 20s. So I started learning, remember the D? Started. I started learning English. I started learning English around 25 years ago. Years ago. Notice how it goes together? Years ago. I started learning English around 25 years ago when I was in, when I was in my early 20s. In my early 20s. When I, when I, when I was in, when I was in, when I was in my early 20s. No T. When I was in my early 20s. I remember? I started learning English around 25 years ago when I was in my early 20s. Was in my early 20s. When I was in my early 20s. Okay. So my feedback. Hmm. Hmm. My feedback. What would my feedback be? Hmm. I'm gonna stop sharing here. Gonna get rid of this. Okay, so my feedback for you, Douglas. All right, my feedback would be, like I said, I say this to every English learner. 1, Just choose one aspect, one sound, one problem, one thing that you do incorrectly and work on it. Get feedback, work on it daily, get feedback, work on it daily. When you shadow, I don't know this, Douglas, you can actually respond. When you shadow, do you have an intention? Do you have a goal in shadowing, a specific goal? Answer me. Anyone, actually, anyone who shadows, answer in the comments. I'm going to read it. Because it's good to shadow, yes, but when you shadow with a focus, when you shadow with an intention, so shadowing means like listening to a native speaker speak, repeating it exactly as they speak it or as they say it, so that you could speak like them. Have an intention. Is your intention to focus on listening for the stress in each word? Is your intention, maybe you're working on the nuclear stress of like where the main stress is your intention to hear where things go up, go down, the tone, the pitch? Or is it maybe you want to work on your flap T, right? Instead of saying started, you want to say started. Or instead of saying like butter or water, you want to say water, butter. So when you're shadowing, you can listen for that specific sound, hearing when native speakers use it, and repeating it to create that muscle memory. So my goal, so just to recap, choose one thing, shadow with intention. Um, what can you work on? I'll give you, I think I'm gonna say three different things you can choose from. One is I notice that you still make English mistakes, like obvious English mistakes. Native speakers make grammar mistakes. We do. I know we do. But there's a difference between mistakes that native speakers make and mistakes that English learners make. So, a way you can do that is to get feedback from, let's say, like an English coach, or using ChatGPT, or what I think is best because it's really by practicing that and getting feedback that you learn is I have an app somewhere in the description where you can. It's not my app, but it's an app that I use for my French, for my Spanish. You chat with an AI partner and you turn on the feedback function. I should put the link down below and it will give you feedback. So when I chat with it, it will say, "Oh, this is wrong. This is how you say it. Oh, this is wrong." So by constantly hearing, "Oh, that's not correct. That's not correct," you're able to undo those bad patterns and, learn what sounds natural in English or natural to a native speaker. So that English mistakes is something you could focus on. Um, hmm. I'm looking at my board here. I was listening, but I wasn't listening as much for specific patterns. Um, I know that when you said, I think you were trying to say fair, and I heard fur. There's certain vowel sounds. You can decide which vowel sounds you want to work on. Maybe the flap D, but your flap D is pretty good. But sometimes choosing one sound could be nice to work on that you've already mastered, just to have that confidence boost. But intonation could be a cool thing to focus on. I think intonation could be nice, but again, that's something that it takes time. Intonation and stress is something that's difficult. Um, I feel like I'm not giving as clear of of um, of advice as I could, but I know I've reviewed your videos before, so I think I'll leave it at that. Again, the English mistakes, for example, you said a 5 years training course. It should be a 5-year training course. Yes, you say it's 5 years, right? 5 years because there's 5 years, there's multiple years. But when you use it as in the like the I think it's a compound adjective. I don't teach grammar. Okay, I don't teach grammar. I just teach people how to speak more like a native speaker. But it should be 5-year training program. So it's a training program, 5-year, 5-year. Good. So I'm going to end that there. If you're watching this as a clip, there should be a video popping up here where you can see other Judge My Accent videos. So feel free to click on that and take care and bye. And it was just a recording for another thing. So now I'm going to go into the the Q&A section. So I'm opening up for question and answers right now. I'm gonna, read the comments. Read the comments. So if you have anything you want to say, anything you want to ask me now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm so happy there's people here. Hi, ma'am. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you. Jesus is in the house. Jesus is an American accent coach, and what's really cool is Spanish is his first language, but don't worry, he has a perfect American accent. So I just want to say that it's been a while. Yes, I had some very busy stuff going on recently, so I have not been able to be here. So things are doing well. Thank you, Jesus. And if you're still here, Jesus, I kind of hope you are. I want to show you something because Jesus is going to be doing a live with me. I made this template. So you will be there. I'll be here. So American Accent Coach Corner. So Jesus, when you're here, that's what you're going to see. And I'm actually going to take off your little comment so you can see the Canadian flag under me and then American on the other side. Which I will have other accent coaches coming that might be Australian. And this is what I'm making. So when we have our little discussions, we will have something fun like that. Okay. All right. I'm going to get rid of this banner here because I'm no longer doing this accent review. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes. Cool. Still here. Yes, I should be able to make it work. Don't worry if it's a different date, but I'm excited. I'm excited because we're going to have a good time. All right, Jess, if you upload the voice recording directly to ChatGPT, it will analyze the correct. Oh, no. Sorry, I'm losing my mic. I do not understand the same with a human teacher, but it helps with. Okay. I don't know, Alberto, if this is the question for practicing your English. I don't know when this came in, or if it had to do with using ChatGPT. So I'm going to show you right now, actually. I think there are two options. Well, I've never tried ChatGPT. I've never tried. Okay, the two options that I know of, we're going to try it right now, I think. One option is to get Word document to dictate you. So it types what you say. Okay. And I'll share with you. I'll share with you what I do here. So option number one, this is what I know. Okay. I'm not super tech savvy. Okay. So it's like press Windows key plus H. So for example, I'll do that now. Windows H. I don't know if you see this. It comes up. I'm going to click it. I don't know if it'll work since I'm already doing a live. Hello, can you type what I am saying? You are dictating what I'm saying. You'll see that there is no punctuation here, but it types out what you want it to type out. Okay. So you see there's no, again, Windows H or Windows key plus H for Windows or this FN twice. Then you go to ChatGPT. I'm going to add another one. And then you can ask them to put punctuation. Can you add punctuation? Proper punctuation. So that's option number one, Alberto. Option number two, though, would be to use. I'm gonna stop sharing this. Option number two would be to use this app that I use. You have like these AI language partners, and you talk to them, and they give you feedback. That's two. However, you asked a really great question. This is really slow. I'm looking at my share screen. You asked a really great question. I wonder if ChatGPT can listen and tell me what's wrong with my intonation. So what I'll say though is for that AI partner, they don't give you feedback on your intonation. They do not give you feedback on your stress. the stress of the words. But it does give you feedback on common English mistakes. I'm gonna ask, if I send you a recording of my voice, can you tell me what is off or off in my intonation, um, stress, and pronunciation? I don't think it's that smart yet. No. 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 Really? So apparently, Alberta, I'm glad you asked. Yes, if you send me a voice recording, I can give you detailed on your intonation, stress patterns, and pronunciation. I break down your okay, let me do this. Okay. I'm gonna try to talk to ChatGPT with a French Quebecer accent. Okay. And okay. Mm, allow this time. Hello, I went to the grocery store and I bought a banana and apple and uh, and a piece of bread, and it was really nice. And that's it. Come on, let's go. Did you hear me? Oh, okay. You know what? Forget it. Okay, so apparently I need to upload an audio file. I haven't really done it. Okay. So good question. Good question. Um, you got to see me try and pretend to do a Quebec accent. I don't know. I don't know if ChatGPT can do that. Anyways, good question. I might try it later. All right. Suddenly, I don't know why I'm not interested in studying English. Tell me, ma'am. I'm going to give you my advice. I'm an English learner myself. I think if it's boring, I'm not interested. Okay. If it's boring, personally, I am not interested. So if you really, I think one, you have to know why you want to learn English. Are you motivated because you want to go to the United States or Canada? Or do you want to meet somebody? Do you want to get a job? Maybe your job requires that. I think you need to find one, motivation. And two, you need to find ways that make it fun. Unfortunately, I really disagree with the way English and languages are taught in schools. I think it's super boring. I think it's a lot of it's really irrelevant. I don't want to sit in a classroom and memorize vocabulary. I don't want to memorize grammar drills. I want to practice. I want to play in the language. If I like podcasts, I want to listen to podcasts. If I like music, I want to listen to music that I like in my target language. So I would say find ways to make it fun. And in life, when we're learning something, there are some moments of intensity where we want to like work really hard, maybe like spend maybe even hours a day. And then there's some days, some seasons in life where you might just spend like 5 minutes a day. Like it depends on the season you're in, what your motivation is, and are you making it fun? Because honestly, it's really boring. The way that a lot of people teach and study English or languages. I know people who study the dictionary. That's really boring for me. I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine being stimulated and want to learn by studying the dictionary. All right. Can I speak like a native an American sorry, like a native speaker with an American accent? I believe it's possible, but I believe a lot of people don't necessarily want it enough to put the work in that it takes. Um, because it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but definitely I really believe it's possible to have a really good accent. I don't know what your first language is. I'm wondering if you're from India, just there's certain things that I see in your speech. Um, I recorded somebody a few weeks ago from India, almost perfect accent. almost perfect accent, like American accent. He never left India, I think. At least he did not ever come to the United States, and he speaks almost perfectly. So it's possible, but it takes a lot of work, and not everyone wants to do that. You have to ask yourself, do you really want it? And are you willing to put in the work and the time and the energy? Next, where should I focus on the accent in American English? I have a whole playlist on accent reduction tips. So basically, you want to see what your biggest problem is that is really noticeable in your foreign accent, and then you have to redo, like, focus on that, the right sound, the correct sound, if the correct sound is American, and you create those habits again. Again, I have a whole playlist on that. All right, what is the flap T, D, R sounds? Please explain these words and how to use them. Okay, so the flap T is I have a video. I should actually write this down. I should put this in the description of this video. So I'm going to actually add a link. This doesn't work. I'm going to type this out right. So I'm going to type this out in my little document. I'm going to add the links to my accent reduction tips. So when you watch the replay, come back to this video. I'm going to add the link to the accent reduction tips playlist. I'm going to actually add the flap T too because I did mention it. But just to explain it briefly, the flap T is when the T is between two vowels, and it's like a quick D. So instead of saying water, the t is going to turn into d, 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 like a fast D. Water. Instead of saying better, ter, it's going to turn into a quick D, better. Instead of saying butter, or sorry, instead of saying butter, it's hard for me to say it and like say it with a T. It's going to be butter. So everything is better with butter, right? Everything is better with butter, right? So it's just something that you have to practice if you want to sound more American. What else did I say I'm going to add up? Oh yeah, the AI bot tool. I think that's it. Cool. I'm gonna see what else. What other questions do we have here? I really want to learn. How y'all doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm so glad you want to learn. Welcome, welcome, Newman. And yeah, I see this. Should anything change? Yes, let me know. Let me know. And I'm good, Maz. How are you? Ma'am, where are you from? Because this is my first time on your live. I'm from Canada. So yeah, I'm from Canada, but I have I'd say a neutral American accent. So that's why I do American accent training from Canada. All right, same thing. I guess I can see where everyone's from. All of the comments I'm getting. Oh, there are some Facebook comments, which is good. That means that Facebook is working. Simone, I know who you are. Ciao. Ciao from Canada. Nice. Yeah, from Italy. I love it. Okay. I see that you asked this question a few times. I was going to get to it. Yes. So you're Indian. Kate. Yeah. I had a feeling. I feel like a lot of people from India will say ma'am like that. So I knew. Ciao. ¿Cómo estás? I love it. Okay. It's been an hour, and I was actually going to do some more for the live. I think today we're not going to do that. Um, does anyone have any other questions? Because I will answer questions. I'm not going to start another section because that last section was pretty long, which is okay. Totally fine. Yeah. Any questions? I will give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds if you have any questions, because I'm going to end this right away. But I will say quickly, in September, which is in 2 or 3 weeks, I will be having more one-on-ones, accent training one-on-ones. So if you want to improve your American accent, this is the time. And I also might start pronunciation groups. So keep watching my updates. If you're subscribed to my email list, keep watching because I'm going to be doing a lot. And I'm also going to share with you guys at the bottom. I have a lot of playlists on YouTube, common English mistakes, where you could test your English mistakes because a lot of English learners make English mistakes. Not the kind of mistakes that natives make, but the kind of mistakes that, English learners make. I also have a pronunciation playlist where you can repeat after me and speak more like an American/Canadian. So if you go to my YouTube, American Accent Training with Jess, I have many playlists. Common English mistakes, as you can see here. Pronunciation help, connected speech help, practice, English learning tips, accent reduction tips. I have a series where I judge the accent of different English learners. So, how did you learn the American accent? Well, it's my native language, so that's uh, that's uh, that's why. All right, Simone says I will contact you privately for one-on-ones. That's amazing. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear. When you contact me, I will find out what your goal is for English, because I offer American accent training for those who really want to have like intense work on their accent and have like transformation. um, that's like more drastic. But then I also have one-on-one conversation sessions. So depending on what your needs are, we can do one or the other. Hey, ma'am, how do you say what is your name in your one language? Um, in your one language? I'm not sure if I understand. I would say, what's your name? Um, or what is your name? But my name is pronounced Jessie. I think that's what you mean. Jessie. All right. How much should I spend a day for English language? Okay. I love this question. You decide. You should check out my playlist. There's a playlist, English learning tips. I talk about having like an intense plan, a passive plan. But I would say if you want to improve your English, even if you spend 5 to 15 minutes per day, that's fine. Because over a course of a year, 5 years, you're going to have so much like little habits every day for like a year, 5 year, 10 years. Sorry, 5 years, 10 years, you're going to learn so much rather than trying to spend like an hour every day because it's hard to stay motivated. So if you do 5 to 15 minutes per day and sometimes more, over the course of a year, you're going to see a huge difference. Huge difference. Hi, Douglas. Much appreciated for sharing your valuable insights. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I actually just did your accent review. So when you watch the replay, you'll be able to listen to it. I I wasn't as thorough as I could be, but if you have questions, let me know, Douglas. Like you can ask me privately as well. Mm, yeah. Ma'am, your English is so marvelously gorgeous. Normally wouldn't say gorgeous for somebody's language. Just a heads up. But thank you. All right. So I'm gonna end this live, I think. If you're watching the replay, there should be a video or a playlist popping up here. Thank you so much to everyone who came and feel free to share my videos with somebody who is learning English because it helps me out. Take care. Bye.